Hey everybody, I'm gonna just make this video as I'm running late to work and there's traffic because, you know, people don't know how to drive when it rains apparently. Even though it's New England, you'd think you'd be used to the weather by now. But if it rains, everybody's got to drive 2 miles an hour and cause all this gridlock traffic. On top of it, I am just still shocked from, this has been a heck of a week. I have been traveling all over the state and all the way up to Michigan earlier this week, and it's just, I'm still just, my body has a lot of disabilities and health issues, so it takes a toll on me, and I have just had a very long and stressful week of travels and gigs, and then when I finally got back after flights delayed and had to stay an extra night in Michigan, held up my fife and drum Deep River muster, got there a day late, but that was awesome time, but I am burned to a crisp. I mean, I am in so much agony from sunburn everywhere, and I almost had heat stroke. It was so oppressively hot and humid Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, and all I could do in between fife and drum gigs was get out of my soaking wet with sweat uniform, hang it up to dry in a 100-degree tent, and then go and douse myself head to toe in a freezing cold hose. That was all. The only way to shower was a hose at this, where we were camping at this field at the Fife and Drum event, East River Muster, Deep River Muster. Sorry. Amazing experience. I'm just gonna have to make sure I'm a little bit better prepared, but I didn't have time because my flight was delayed on Wednesday. I got in late Thursday night. So I didn't have time to get home, acclimate from my travels from Detroit, and then go again all weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to this event. So I ended up having to take a bath in a lake on Sunday afternoon, literally with fish biting my legs. But it was disgusting, like 3-4 days in just oppressive heat and sweat with no way to shower or anything. Ugh. But anyway, it was awesome. You know, that's camping for you, and, you know, that's the Deep River Muster. Now that I know, I will try to be more prepared next year. In the meantime, I'm making this video to let you guys know, and also, you know, right now I'm a little ticked off right now. I don't like being late for work, and it seems like once you're late, there's traffic and weather and everything else, and my coffee spilt all over my car and dashboard, all over my work bag, all over my stuff, and there's no way for me to clean it. And I got to get into work, and so by the time I get back, this is going to be it stinks in here. There's like coffee, there's a mess everywhere. So I'm real mad because I needed that coffee and it's all gone. It's all over my dashboard and car. To make matters worse. And then on top of it, I have been sick since yesterday. Just stomach issues and pain. My back from sleeping in that tent and an air mattress with spinal disease, I could not walk today. I literally couldn't get out. I was in such agony. It's been a long week of travel and sitting on planes, and so I really overdid myself this week. It needed to be done. It wasn't planned this way. Are you gonna hit me? Or are you gonna? Can somebody learn how to drive in this state, please? If I wasn't a good driver, I'd be in so many accidents every day. People just don't watch. This guy just almost ran me into another lane trying to come onto the highway. There's nobody behind me, but he had to get in front of me. Anyway, so, like I said, I really overdid it this week, but I almost had heat stroke. I've never drank so much in my life and never urinated. It was just, it must have been 12 bottles of water and 12 Gatorades and only peed twice. It was terrible. That's how much I was sweating. And now I am burnt to a crisp and agony from sunburn everywhere. Ugh. And then my bones are killing me. So I am beat up and jet lagged and tired. I haven't slept much in about a week. And now my work week starts. Yay. Need the money. So yeah, and we're getting more bad weather and more humidity. And we don't have air conditioning in the trailer. So it's like 90 degrees all the time in there, and you're just soaked with sweat every day, all night long, trying to sleep in this hot metal trailer. After a week of hot tents with no air conditioning. And it never stops. It's like a foretaste of hell for me. Maybe it is, I don't know. But anyway, so the video came out. I went to Detroit, long story short. I'm a little upset because I didn't get to really tell my story. I thought maybe I'd have a one-on-one interview or whatever, but I didn't get a chance to really say what I wanted and needed to say. I said a lot. I guess what I said brought a lot of people to tears. It was important. Let me just say, priest of the Sacred Heart Seminary, School of Theology, Order of the SCJs, I'm not through with you yet. And there's more coming out. And you are lucky I did not have time due to time restraint and editing to mention names and certain things that happened to me personally. I have not yet gotten to tell my version of the story of what happened to me in seminary. Just briefly touched on some subjects. It's a very long 1.5-hour interview, and it was edited. Otherwise, it probably would have been 2 hours. I didn't get to say a lot, but I'll tell you that what was said by everybody else also were I also experienced. So like there was 9 of us seminarians, former seminarians, giving our stories, and I can tell you that everything the rest of the other 8 said also happened to me. So I really got the garbage end of the stick, because not only what happened to me, but everything else that happened to them also kind of happened to me. So I can verify that their stories are true. You need to hear this entire 1.5-hour interview, because it's the Persecuted Priest Summit on Church Militant on YouTube. It just came out today. You got to watch the entire thing, because you need to hear everybody's story. And let me tell you, I had a week with these guys, or almost a half a week with these guys, and we ate dinner together, we hung out together, we swapped stories. Their stories would bring you to tears. These guys did not get into details on, how they were raped and molested and all kinds of stuff. A lot of that wasn't even mentioned for time reasons. But what they did say was enough for all of us, basically, and we all share similar stories. And if it didn't happen to us, we at least witnessed the same things. And this has been going on since before Vatican II, and this is still going on in almost every seminary and order in the world now. And if you don't want to believe that, if you think we're causing division, you're an idiot. You're an ignorant person. I am not trying to cause trouble for the church. I'm trying to expose the wicked people so they get out. Instead of ousting us good people, get rid of the corruption and let the church restore, because otherwise this is going to keep happening. If we don't say anything, then it's going to continue to keep happening. And as it has for almost a century now, or longer. So, I don't want to hear from you people, oh, you're a bad Catholic, you're causing more division and scandal. You're not the one that was harassed and threatened and thrown to the street. You're not the one getting raped and molested, okay? Kidnapped. All kinds of stuff happens to us seminarians, no matter what our age. Unless it happens to you, shut your mouth, because you don't know the damage it causes to us psychologically, to our lives. You weren't there, so you don't know the half of it. So don't sit there and say be quiet, or we're lying, or that's not true, or we shouldn't say anything and add more scandal. Shut up. If you're not with us, then you're against us, because we're with Christ. And Christ would not sit back and allow this to go on and not want us to say anything. It's called a sin of omission if we don't tell people the truth. So if you're going to sit there and protect these disgusting, wicked people in the church, shame on you. Shame on you. You need to pray for priests. Yes, you need to help. You need to do your thing. You need to be a good Catholic. But don't you dare tell us victims to keep our mouths shut to protect the church. No. When the church becomes the problem, it needs to be dealt with. God bless.